All right, guys, so here we go. As you can see, I've got all of the canvas stripped off of this thing, and we're getting ready to go. We don't need to do anything with the frames. They're set. They were set before we needed to go. So the awning rail and everything's already on the boat. So let's go ahead and take our tape and all right, so prior to me taking this canvas off, I put a mark right here on the track, and I also put a mark right here on the track, and one additional one right here in the center on the track, just a little dot with my Sharpie marker so I know how far down I want the canvas to come around the sides. So we'll just use our judgment in the back as far as the depth of the canvas goes. But I did that off of the old canvas because this guy doesn't really want to change anything. He wants it to be exactly like the old one was. So again, I like to peel all of the paper off at one time. That way we're not trying to fight with that. So we've got a very windy day. You may be able to watch a few takes of this if it keeps ripping off. So this is my 1-inch strapping tape, and I'm just going to pull this. Now that doesn't make any difference right now where this bar is. All I'm doing is just getting it out of the way. Once we get the fabric up here, we'll readjust that. This one is fixed permanent, and this one back here is fixed permanent. So there are some adjustments. If it looks like it doesn't work, you can do some adjustments. But the other thing that we have on here is a center mark right on the tube in the middle, which gives us our straight line. So because we've got so much wind, what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this and clamp it. Typically I don't do that, but with this wind we're going to do that today. All right, so after I put it in the center, I just put a cut in there and a slit so that we can put this pattern paper up. And then again, we're gonna find the center. Now we have the center. I just took two 8-foot pieces. It was about, or I'm sorry, 9-foot pieces. This thing was about 8 foot long front to back. So we have plenty of plastic. Okay, let's start off up here. Yep, we're going to be in trouble. We're going to be in trouble today with this wind. So I don't have a clamp on me. I guess I'll do it the opposite way. That's what the wind wants us to do. Okay. Oh, maybe we're getting close. Until that center's out of whack a little bit. Okay, that is amazing to me that we actually got that put on there. So let me tighten this up a little bit right there. Center. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and jam this out and then we'll talk about it afterwards. But I'm gonna use, just like you've seen with every other enclosure or Bimini, about a 45-degree angle on my Sharpie marker. Now I need to put my cutoff mark right there with a little circle on there, which I'll show you, but we'll measure from the center over and get that side. So you don't ever want to try to guesstimate. Oh shit. You always measure them out. All right, so again, I got this mark right here on the track, and then I'm just going to take my Sharpie and just pattern right along the awning rail. And then put the same mark that we have on that side. Excuse me. We're going to mark this center bow on the inside, and then we can readjust this one up so it just touches the fabric, and then scribe the line again on the inside. So you have two pockets going different ways on the center up there. All right, so we're going to make this 3 panels in the back. We're going to have 2 vertical zippers on there. So we need to identify, if I can get this done before it rips off of there. That is, I'm going to call this, so I'm going to go from right there to right there. This is, that's 64 inches. So I'm going to write in here 64 inches that way and that way. So we have a vertical zipper. The other one we're going to have is going to be in the corner, which we don't need to mark that yet because that will just come together on the Bimini top. But what we do need is for the wind to stop blowing. All right, we got just a gust. Hang on just a second here. Okay. So we're going to also put a vertical zipper in for a door right here. So that can be done with an eyeball, right? And put a circle for a cut for the door. And we can reference this. Maybe I should have done it on this side to begin with. Okay, so I marked both sides, but we can reference it with measurements once we get it to the shop. So double check yourself. You got the main bow scribed in, you have both your center bows, you have your awning kettlewelt track, you got your cutoff there, you got your cutoff there. We've got one cutoff mark over on this side, we'll duplicate it on that side. Oh, and that should be it. That's patterned. And we've got our 64 inches for our vertical zippers back here. Okay, so because of this wind and stuff, I'm going to cut, we're going to go right to the front and pattern the front, and this will make a lot more sense once we get it into the shop. Not to mention, if you're watching this video, you should have already had the Bimini top one down. So the difference is that, one more thing that we need to do. I'm glad I just thought of this. If I could find my tape measure. Okay, so, which you can do this without the pattern on, but from this mark right here, we need to get the length of the kettlewelt down, all the way down to the bottom. So that's 50 inches. And this should probably be about 50 inches as well. It is. So we need an extra we need an extra 50 inches of kettlewelt, which we'll go through when we start making that. I'm going to take this thing off. Wow. Okay, go ahead and cut. All right, so let's do the same thing here on the front with our tape. Okay, and so I have our center marks here and here again. So let's do the same thing. Oh man, this is hard. And let me get rid of this gust of wind. Oh. Ah, shit, ripped out again. All right, let's see if I can't get that back up there. All right, that was challenging as hell. Let's do the same thing and get marking the awning rail right in the groove. I'm going to put this cutoff mark that we indicated there, and now let me come up. All right, so right here is where I'm going to determine how far I want that to wrap around. We'll duplicate the other side again. And this awning rail, the cutoff mark right there. Okay, inside. So the other thing is that is 39 inches. And we don't need to worry about the sides because that will all work out right in the corner again. So we've got that cutoff mark, the rail, our zipper, the Ketterwelt awning rail, and we need the length again, and that is an additional 40 inches. All right, so if you don't get it so much, you'll understand more of it once we get into the shop. Once it's laid out. So we're gonna have a center seam this way, and we'll make our pocket, and we'll also make our zipper tails out of the pattern on this thing. So I'm gonna strip this, and then we're gonna head back to the shop and get these patterns worked out, and then start putting some fabric on it. So I'll meet you at the shop.